Right now, there are private companies that don't just analyze data for surveillance, they decide how our institutions see the world. One of them is Palantir, a private, unelected corporation whose software has been used by militaries, police forces, immigration agencies, and healthcare systems. In the United States, Palantir's platforms are used by immigration authorities to integrate databases, map social networks, and prioritize targets for investigation and deportation. Palantir didn't make the arrest, it didn't write the law, it decided who to target. That's the shift. Once decisions are made upstream, once reality itself is filtered through privately owned proprietary systems, the question stops being who holds power, it becomes who designs the interface. Mike Pondsmith, the creator of Cyberpunk, has been clear about this as that kind of power. Cyberpunk is a warning, not an aspiration, because the Cyberpunk series imagines a world of near-total surveillance. It's a world where megacorporations don't just own the economy, they are the surveillance system. Their AIs sit behind finance, policing, weapons manufacturing, and the net itself. Log into almost any terminal in Night City and you're reminded that Netwatch is present, that all traffic is monitored. This isn't a future to be admired, so the real question isn't whether Night City is being watched, it's how anyone like V gets away with anything at all. And how close is our world to operating on the same logic right now? Let's take a look. We start off at the No-Tell Motel. It's where fixers meet mercs, where joy toys meet for prayer, where people go where they don't want to be seen. On the surface, it's just another cheap Night City motel. Nothing special, nothing hidden, but functionally, it behaves like a VPN in physical form. The No-Tell Motel isn't invisible. Arasaka knows it exists, so does the NCPD, and so does Netwatch. What makes it different isn't secrecy, it's how it's run. The hotel is AI managed and run on site, no humans. It runs on its own private systems rather than streaming live data into corporate surveillance networks.
It was pretty crazy.
Okay, so what's up with the No-Tell Motel? Tell me about the significance.
Oh yeah, I mean, No-Tell Motel is a very specific place. So in the world of Cyberpunk, if you want to have a shady deal, you like go to the place where nobody can spot you. And basically this is a place that is run by AI and there is no humans who are running this place, so pretty much nobody knows that you're there.
In theory, it means the building controls what data leaves it. Logs can be delayed, identities anonymized, and occupancy registers obfuscated. Not erased, just made unreliable in real time. This is why the Konpeki Plaza job matters and is more interesting, because after everything goes wrong, Dex tells V and Jackie to meet him at the No-Tell Motel. Not somewhere public, not somewhere secure by corporate standards, here. Not because Arasaka is blind, but because the No-Tell isn't directly plugged into their network. It operates alongside the system, not fully inside it, a tolerated grey zone. Arasaka could raid the building, shut it down, flatten it, but power doesn't eliminate every anomaly. It manages them, because a known grey zone is easier to monitor indirectly than chaos scattered everywhere. Take for example in the UK right now, lawmakers have proposed measures that would push surveillance down into the device itself. Mandatory age verification, on-device monitoring, literal restrictions on VPN use, and requiring identity checks to access them. The logic is simple. If you can't reliably see what people are doing on the network, you redesign the device so activity is legible before it's encrypted. That isn't mass surveillance in the open, it's architectural control. Privacy isn't broken by spying then, it's prevented by design, and that's the same logic the No-Tell Motel resists. Not by disappearing, but by operating on a layer the system can't easily see in real time. The No-Tell Motel is clever, the idea isn't science fiction totally. In the real world right now, artificial intelligence is already being used to counter other artificial intelligence systems. Take facial recognition. Researchers at the University of Chicago developed a tool called Forks, software that subtly alters images so facial recognition AIs can't reliably match faces. It's a tool that you can use right now. What matters here isn't the tool itself though, it's the pattern. Surveillance scales up, counter technology follows, but notice the imbalance. Individuals are forced to obfuscate while corporations get to aggregate. One side hides, the other side maps. That's exactly how the No-Tell functions. It isn't invisible. What's obscured is who is there, when they're there, and why. Visibility is only delayed, not denied. And then there's Delamain, an artificial intelligence running an entire taxi fleet, its own routing, its own internal network. Unless you're given Delamain's tracking tech, those vehicles are effectively ghosts. Not because they can't be tracked, but because access is controlled. Visibility in Night City isn't universal, it's granted. This is why V's escape seems to work, not because Night City's surveillance is incompetent and not because the world is poorly written. It works because the system tolerates small pockets of autonomy, just like in our world, as long as they don't threaten the whole. Surveillance in Cyberpunk doesn't fail, it triages, and when something stops being tolerable, the system closes in. V is walking around with a lot of chrome, but so is almost everyone else. In Night City, cyberware isn't niche, it's normal. Most people have something installed, and those who don't, they're the odd ones out. In the year 2077, being trans is accepted, but not having a Mr. Stud, that's where Night City draws the line. But cyberware isn't just enhancement, it's infrastructure. Every implant runs firmware, every implant gets updates, and in-game, some users even suspect planned obsolescence. Kuroshi optics degrading, people going blind conveniently right when a new model drops. Is that outside of corporate behavior? No. In Cyberpunk, corporations have done far worse, including experimenting on nomads. And obsolescence already exists. Surveillance through technology already exists. But the key detail here is all cyberware is networked. That's why netrunners can hack it, and if it's networked, it can be monitored. If you're using corporate cyberware, you're basically screwed. In the corpo life path, V's entire body is tracked. Cortisol, serotonin, sleep cycles, mood fluctuations. At one point, V experiences a dangerous anxiety spike, and a corporate wellness coach immediately gets in touch, not to help, but to manage an asset. We find that corporations can also deactivate cyberware at will. Arms, optics, neural systems, it's surveillance with an off switch. This level of surveillance is rife, and it sounds exaggerated, but look at us. We carry phones that track locations, sleep movement, and attention. Corporations already monitor workers this way. Amazon tracks productivity down to seconds, limits bathroom breaks, and treats human bodies like software processes. What's changed here isn't the surveillance, it's that opting out now carries social and economic costs. We give this data up willingly, in the name of optimization, wellness, self-improvement. We could stop, but the systems are already integrated. The data flows anyway. So how do mercs like V avoid being monitored? Black market cyberware, modified neural implants, hardware stripped of tracking layers, installed quietly by Ripperdocs who know what to cut. That's why Ripperdocs matter. They don't just install Chrome, they remove the leash, and even then, corporations can still reach you if they really want to. In Cyberpunk, it is not just about technology, it's about politics as well. The Peralez quest has already been covered in detail elsewhere. The Neon Arcade, the Relaxed Swede, they do great jobs on this. What I want to concentrate on here is the real. Jeff and Elizabeth Peralez aren't just being watched, they're being rewritten, memories erased, memories replaced, personality traits adjusted, all carried out by artificial intelligence, turning human beings into programmable objects, meat puppets. The goal isn't chaos, it's compliance. Make people more predictable, more malleable, easier to stare. Are we there yet? There's growing research showing that heavy cognitive offloading to AI, letting AI systems think for us, reduces engagement in the brain's prefrontal networks. In simple terms, when people outsource their thinking, circuits responsible for critical reasoning fire less. People who do the work themselves, however, and only consult AI after, don't show the same decline. Which raises the uncomfortable question, which group do you think most people fall into? But this isn't new. Cognitive offloading existed long before AI. GPS, calculators, smartphones, each changed how we remember, navigate, and decide. AI doesn't invent vulnerability, it amplifies it. At the same time, AI-driven persuasion systems are already outperforming humans at changing opinions, trained on massive datasets tuned to nudge behavior quietly, efficiently, at scale. But Peralez's were hacked for political ends, were nudged for profit. Different motives, same mechanism. Control behavior by controlling cognition, which is why companies like Meta, backed by asset managers like BlackRock, invest so heavily in predictive persuasion models. I'm sure it's purely to improve society, and definitely not to optimize influence. But hey, that's just a theory. I imagine the people of Night City didn't wake up one day under total surveillance. It arrived gradually, layer by layer, feature by feature. A convenience here, security there, optimization everywhere. Until opting out stopped being realistic. Cyberpunk isn't a prediction, it's a pattern and it's a warning. I think the real question isn't whether we're being watched, it's whether we'll notice one day. Because the most effective surveillance system isn't the one that scares you, it's the one that you stop seeing. If you made it this far, I'm glad you're here, Tune. Do let me know what you think. I'm always happy to hear from you guys. And I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe.